that you gave me victory. I was blind, but now I see. Lord, you gave me victory. I wanna thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I gotta thank you, Lord. I wanna thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I must thank you, Lord. I wanna thank you, thank you, thank you. I wanna thank you. You're my everything. Come on, come on. Here I go again. Lord, you forgave all my sins. I gotta call you friend. You're my everything to the front in the end. Lord, you made the way. You're the only one who can brighten my days. Lord, I gotta worship you.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to My Tea for the Week. I'm your host, Valerie Locust, and today I just want to say thank you for tuning in this morning. We have a very, very good topic this morning, and I'm sure most of us, if not all of us, will be able to relate. Our topic for today is Ask Me Again. And I know somebody's probably saying, ask me again, ask me what? Well, trust me, you'll find out before we're in the ending of this segment today. I have my special guest. I've had him on the show with me a couple weeks ago, Pastor Terry JUN-NES. And I had so many comments. Everybody was just blessed by him being on the show. And so I thought that this topic would be very good for me and Terry to do some dialogue. Terry is the CEO of JUN-NES Productions. He's also a pastor. He's also working on a sitcom called JUN-NES and Family, and soon we'll be hearing from him about that as well. He's also the co-host or the host for Worship Talk, and you can find that every Sunday on his business page. It's at 4:30, and it's called Worship Talk. And if you've not been able to see it, trust me, you don't want to miss it. It's very, very good, very informative, encouraging, and all of that. So before we get started, we're going to have Terry to come on here on the platform and join me today. And again, he's my godson, and I'll try to get through this without laughing. He loves the Lord, but he's also a comedian. So, Terry, would you like to greet our viewing audience this morning? All right, Terry. So you can already see what I mean. But today, Terry, we're going to talk about Ask Me Again. And we took this from the movie that Tyler Perry done, which was called Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And in this movie, Terry, the wife was the devoted one. She was lovingly. She just made it happen. Everything that her husband needed, everything that he desired, she made it happen. And on the flip side of that, she got nothing in return. She had miscarriages because of the stress of the marriage and everything like that. And we're going to have to move forward, kind of go skip here and there because it is a movie and we don't have a lot of time. But we're going to just try to pull out the main points that we want to make so we can start our topic, our dialogue. But the husband was just very mean to her, mistreated her, degraded her. At the end of the day, he put her out. He dragged her out of the house and left her on the door, just pounding outside. And, and when I first thought about this topic, or God gave me this topic, sometimes that's how we are. Mm-hmm. God is the devoted one, and we're just holding on. This lady was holding on with everything she had, losing while she's holding on, if that makes sense. And not understanding that the door, even though he pulled her, dragged her out of the door and left her out there pounding and, wanting to get back in because this lady's looking at all the years she's been with him and everything that he is, she helped him to become and all of this. And now that you're up to the top, you're dragging me and you're throwing me out the door and you got me banging and, But she did not understand, Terry, that door was her exit. That door was her exodus. That door was her way of escape. And a lot of times we can't see that when God is trying to do something different in us or move on our behalf. We hold on with everything we got, ladies, trying to stay with what we have because that's where we're comfortable, even though we know in the realization of everything that is not what we really need, because he was just so brutally, he was like that, Terry, because he didn't value or he didn't see the worth of what he had. So with that, how would you kind of jump in there on that?
Sometimes, man, we can be in a place where we sometimes don't feel as if we want it at a certain point, or where we're not ready for it. So sometimes God allow us to go through some certain things in our life to where we're asking for some stuff, but we're not ready. We're not ready. We're not prepared. We're not in a place. We think we are.
Right.
But we're not. And so that's why we have challenges and get frustrations and stuff like that. But we have to allow ourselves to be ready if we want God to give us the thing that we need. See, sometimes we can't always ask Him.
That's right.
In certain situations. So, but you have to be able to get in a place where you're ready.
And I think with her, because she was comfortable, because this was all she knew, she thought that him dragging her out of that house was the worst thing ever. Not understanding that even though she was in that marriage, it really wasn't blessing her any kind of way. Because it said like she had miscarriages because of the stress of the marriage. He degraded her. He made her feel less than a woman. He was just terrible because he did not value, and because did not value her, did not see her worth. But because she didn't see it either, she stayed there, thinking that this is what she had to do. This was what she needed to do, not understanding that all the time it was breaking her down. It was demoralizing her as a woman, as his wife. And so moving forward, she ended up, there was a young man who helped, because the night he pulled her out of the house, she didn't take nothing. She was dressed beautifully. She didn't have nothing. But he allowed her to take a few things, what she could get out of this mansion of a home. And the young man who came and helped her move to get those things, he kept trying to make conversation with her, but she was in such a state of brokenness and emotionally tapped out. She was just drained. Well, she could not see where he was coming from. She didn't want to see where he was coming from. And because he kept trying to get her to, conversate with him, all of that. But when we find sometimes when we're in a state of brokenness, it doesn't matter. Even God, this man saw her at her most pitiful state. God sees us at our most pitiful state. And he's always trying to come around to try to get us to come back around and, trying to let us see our value and our worth, what he sees in us. But until we can allow ourselves to trust God in what he does, we'll be just like this woman. She was bitter. This lady was hurt. She was broken. Ladies, and we can definitely understand that when you've put in and you've poured in everything you have, and then you still can't get what you need from that person that you so-called love, that puts you in a very vulnerable, it just puts you in a place where you can't hear, you can't think. Only thing you can do is see that hurt, that pain, that brokenness. And so that's where this lady was.
Well, let me say something. Before we go either farther, because there's something going on with this thing over here, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So before we go all the way in, we got to fix this problem.
Okay.
Because I'm glitching in my eye over there.
Okay.
And so before people get to asking questions, we got to fix this problem because it's getting on my nerves right now.
Okay.
So hold on.
Y'all hold on.
Give me a minute.
We'll just.
I said give me a minute, and don't ask me again.
But ladies, until he can fix this,
You
glitch,
just don't say nothing else.
It will until we
I'll
can,
be back. Cause the devil always messing with her when it comes. Y'all want to see me?
But yeah,
Hold
so we'll just kind of
Pause for a minute.
pause and just talk about.
Don't, Mama, don't
We
say
won't go
nothing.
further
Don't say
into
nothing.
this conversation,
Don't say nothing.
but we're just
Don't
thankful.
Say, don't you tell them nothing.
We're
You
grateful.
tell them to go to sleep somewhere. That's what you tell them. Don't say nothing.
You know, ladies, listen.
Hold on, Mama. I'm about to